Hey everyone, welcome to another session of the Automation Hours. My name is Grady. I'm the coach here at Keap. And to kick things off today, we're asking what part of your sales process do you feel is the most neglected? There's I always like to ask this question is because when we have when we an organized process for our sales, we start to identify little areas and pockets of need, areas where we're kind of like, you know what, I haven't spent as much time here as I think I'd like to. On areas where I feel a lot of pain over here. Some of you had some great things to share. I tried to include them in the chat if you guys didn't share them with everyone. I think everyone gets the benefit. Like Brent, he said, I don't have consistency in how I sell my services. It's different every time. Ellie, you said follow-up was your biggest pain point. Let's see, what are some other ones I saw? Rita, knowing when to ask for the sale when the client is ready. Candace also said follow up and choosing the right platform or integration. Hopefully you're in the right place now with Keap. And one of the ones I liked here too that Michael had shared was after someone buys from me, I don't know what to do next. I totally get that. Sometimes we think like, okay, credit card swipe, we're good. We did it. High fives all around. But there's some really cool things that we can do after the sale. Once we kind of get that piece figured out of how do we get them to buy, now what? How do we deliver amazing service to them? How do we make sure that they either come back to buy more or they send people our way in the future and give us more customers? And so we've been talking about that today, how to automate your sales follow-up to create ravings fans. I think sales follow-up and newly follow-up gets all the praise and all the adoration, but sometimes after sales follow-up is that part that gets neglected a lot. Let me know in the chat if you feel the same way as you're thinking like, oh yeah, that's also a big part that I neglect right now. And when you do, we've got some tools to help you guys get engaged today. This is a live session. So when you guys do use chat, make sure you change that toggle from all panelists to all panelists and all attendees. That way everyone in the session can see what you're sharing, because I know that you guys had shared some pain points. Patrick said calling prospects that haven't replied to initial email, even though they signed up for a quote. That was me when I had a small business. I hated sometimes that part of it. And so I am sure, Patrick, there's someone else in this session today that feels the same way and feels now connected with you because you're like, Patrick's just like me in every way. I'm the same way when I get those quotes out there. Alan said, yes, yes, yes. Asking referrals lost me my first business. Yeah, I totally feel for you there. That's why I don't have a small business anymore, was my poor follow-up skills after the sale and after the quote, obviously. And Patrick, you said you just employed a VA to help you to do that follow-up. Awesome. We had a great session last week all about VAs and how to get them to work for you. So I love that you guys also are using a panelist, all attendees, so you guys can see what's being shared there. I'll try to always kind of call that out too when I see things that are in there, but sometimes it scrolls by kind of fast. And so you guys keep an eye over there and see some of the cool stuff people are sharing. Now, as we do go through today's content, you might have some questions. You might find, you know what, I need to know a little bit more about what's being talked about right there. Or you might say, hey, based on my situation, I want to make sure I understand how to implement this. And if you're that kind of person, awesome, we've got you covered. You can raise your hand in Zoom. There's a button down below. Push that button. A little hand goes up next to your name, and I can give you access to unmute your microphone. And when you unmute your microphone, we can talk about it voice to voice, which works really well because we almost always have follow-up questions to make sure we truly understand what you're going for. But it's there for us today. Now, I also appreciate not everyone likes being on a microphone. And if that's you, no worries. There's a Q&A tool down at the bottom tray as well. Click on Q&A, you type in the question that you want to ask, and it shows up for me in my second screen in a list of questions that we've got to talk about today. And so between raising your hand and adding things to the Q&A, we'll make sure that we slide your needs into the content and bring you in to talk about it. Because again, this is live. And the reason we have it live is because we want your guys' help with some of the content we talk about today, because otherwise you might as well just watch the replay. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. We missed you. So let's just talk more about this pain point, these bumps we have in our sales process. We got all these things going on, but there's areas we feel like there's some disconnection, especially after the sale. We'll be talking about today kind of a primer of a good sales process. But most importantly, we'll be talking about post-sale. How do we make sure that process is amazing? And to help us with that, I brought on a post-sale, yeah, that's the right word, post-sale master. Lyndi MacRae is one of our certified partners here at Keap. Her company is called Into Web Marketing, and she's been helping customers of Keap and also other small businesses for years and years. And we are super happy that Keap has her expertise on our side. And we're also super happy that she's here to join us today to help us with this. Lyndi, how are you?
I'm really good, really, really good. Do I put my camera on now?
Yeah.
Here I am.
All right.
It's a bit dark, sorry. It's 4 a.m. here. I'm in Australia. Don't know if anyone knows that. Yeah, it's good to be
here. Yeah, we are super fortunate. Like if someone asked me to be on a webinar at 4 a.m, I'd say, I think we're okay. I wouldn't get up that early, but I'm super grateful for Lyndi because I think that she has a wealth of expertise. And it was like, okay, I'm okay if you getting up at 4 a.m. if you are. And she's like, I'm super excited about it. I'm happy to do it. So I feel like we're very fortunate to have her here and have her here so early. So Lyndi, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen so that you can share yours with us and we can get underway. Ellen
here.
says, yay, Lyndi, you got some fans already in the audience.
Yes, thank you, Ellen. Good to have you here, partner. All right, let me get that chat out of the way. Are we seeing the right screen? There's a picture of a cute little blonde girl looking very cheeky at us.
That's what I see.
Awesome, awesome. So, all right, shall I get going then, will I?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you everyone for being here. I'm very excited, nervous at the same time too, because I'm used to being behind the screen doing things. So any questions, yeah, like Grady has said, please just post them in. And if there's anything I can answer, I will. And if I can't, then we'll be able to tap into our resource of awesome partner community and come back to you. But yeah, today's talk is, yes, it is about post-sales, but I like to refer to that as delivering a happy ending. And yes, that's a little bit cheeky, just like me. That is me in that picture. That was me when I was little. So yeah, and today it's all about delivering a happy ending, and it's all about you, and it's all about your end user. And that's what I say to my clients as well, that it's not just about you. I'm doing this for your end users. So yeah, anyway, the other title we've got is Automate Your Post-Sales Follow-Ups to Create Raving Fans. This is my beautiful family here, my mum, my dad, my 3 children, grown up now. And this is my grandmother, who is now 103. And
What?
a most amazing, inspirational lady. So, and my parents were entrepreneurs as well. So that's where I got my entrepreneurial spirit. I grew up with the office in the lounge room with desktop publishing. So, yeah, anyway, so yeah, I've just got a little note down on the screen down the bottom here that you're welcome to connect with me even on Facebook. I'm more than happy for that. So let me just jump into this, a little bit about me and how I actually got to be here as a partner. So back in 1996, I had my first child, and she was born with clicky hips, which is congenital hip dysplasia. And I went looking on the web for resources, and there wasn't anything. And obviously I needed to be at home with her. I was a registered nurse back at that time. And, being her carer, primary carer, was the most important thing. And we went through things when she was just born, when she was almost 1, and when she was 3. So, yeah, and she will be going for a hip replacement at some point too. Nothing to do with Keap, but this is part of my big why I do what I do. So I got onto the computer and I started the business into web marketing, which was about web development and all those sorts of things. So I've been playing in this online World Wide Web space for a long time. I've seen a lot of things, and I've watched a lot of people scale and grow far beyond me. And I've created a lifestyle business to be able to be with my children. So, family life happened, mum life happened, and, sadly for me and the kids, the marriage ended badly, and we all have a story. However, it didn't keep me down. So in 2010 was when I had to make a decision and a choice of what I wanted to do. And that's when I met Infusionsoft, which is, as we know, is now known as Keap. However, I had to 2010, that's what it was. And my new life began. So I started with Judy, who still, I believe, is still with Keap.
Yes, Judy's on my team.
Absolutely beautiful lady. I can still hear her voice. And yeah, she onboarded me with it, and I onboarded a client using it, and I did that for 5 years with him. So, from 2010, 2015, I did all of those things that we do as a business owner when we're starting to learn about marketing. What's copywriting, how do videos work, what does Facebook do, and all those sorts of things. And I knew that, you know, without the right tools, it was difficult. And there was lots of shiny balls, shiny objects out there, or shiny disco ball as this one is. Lots and lots of distractions and confusion of all these different tools. And there's always new tools coming out, but the new tools are repeats of existing tools and always getting a little bit better with technology. And one of the tools that I've had all that time, you know, I got Infusionsoft myself in 2015. Now I use Keap Pro, then I've gone to Keap Max myself as, you know, the new changes have come about. So I've dabbled in all of the different areas to be familiar and play in the space. So I've come from a bootstrapping entrepreneur background too. And, you know, throughout the whole journey, as an entrepreneur, the one big thing that you do need to remember is the reason why you went into business in the first place, why you're actually here doing this. You might be sitting here banging your head against the keyboard or something, frustrated. And just remember why you went into business. What was it for? What was the purpose? And sometimes that can be that little bit of inspiration that gets you through it and keeps you going. So my original computer was the old 486, which looked like this, the big tower and the big chunky screen, the old dial-up modem. And this is my new baby. These were my new little monitor stands. This is where I'm sitting right now looking at this. The Phoenix is about rebirth. But this is now my little computer sitting here, which is just incredible compared to this thing. Packs a punch, and I've got my little laptop there. And I had to laugh. There's a big pack of Post-it notes, but they're still in their plastic wrap because I don't use Post-it notes much anymore. Anyway, yeah, so that's the techie nerd geek in me. I inherited my parents' old 486 computer that they used to use as their desktop publishing. So, yeah, and that's where I started playing in the online space. Sorry, I was losing the plot here. Doing all the courses and trainings and implementing Infusionsoft for the client at the time. I loved it. I referred people to it. I played in the software and the tool for clients over and over. So every time I learned something, I applied and implemented it. And any money I made, I put back into the business as well. So I was able to then, you know, scale and grow as I needed the tools and things like that. 2015, not only did I get the app for myself, I also became a certified partner because I went, well, why not? I'm using it and I see this as a business partnership moving forward. And so that's why I'm here today, because I'm a certified partner and I absolutely love the software and the tool and the leverage that it gives me. And I call, when I had Keap Pro, this is KP, my marketing assistant. So it is your most affordable employee that you'll have that works for you 24/7. You tell it what to do and it does it. And it is a tool that you build out and put your branding into it, your essence and energy into to create the outcome. And, you know, it's, you know, whatever you put in, data in, and then it can do data out. So that's what's great about it, is being able to customize it. And there was a couple of questions there about the sales process and all those sorts of things, and using attraction style marketing and leading them through. So, you know, Keap is known for life cycle marketing, and that's one of the things that I love to do. And I focus about the happy ending, which obviously is about post sales. So, and if you think about when you go shopping, you know, we all love a pleasurable buying experience, and you can simplify that and how to streamline that using the automation. We're here, right? But how do you actually add in some extra stuff without it costing you more money, especially if you're just getting started with things, or you're trying to add in something new and you want to test it first and figure that out. And that's what I'll reveal a little bit later on. Yeah, and the reason why I've got the picture of the slippery slide is, remember as a child, don't know about you, Grady, I'm a bit older than you now, but you used to go on those slippery slides and you used to try and slide down it, and you'd be sitting on it trying to go down the slide and you'd be sticking to it. And that's not a smooth slide experience, whereas the slides these days are all the plasticky, whatever they are, but you fly down them type things.
I grew up in the era of OP shorts, so definitely I felt that.
Yeah, so you'd stick to those slides, so it'd be a you know, not a very pleasant slide. So the idea is that, you know, if you look at the slide that we've got here, you know, you've got the ladder up the back, they reach the top and then they slide down the front and go, whee. So the ladder there is them doing their exploring and seeing your Facebook post, your Facebook ad, your Google ads, your website, whatever it is, where they first get attracted to you. And then they're opting into your database, and then you're moving them down through the life cycle marketing process. And they hop off the bottom going, yeah, happy ending. They made it. They didn't land on their butt at the bottom. So, you know, I'll refer back to this one. This is a proven formula. And someone posted the question, no consistency in how you sell your services. And this is a proven formula and a model that you can follow that will help you develop that. Keap has the tools. I'm just quickly jumping across. If you're in the, you know, you Keap Pro, you Keap, I'm getting the tongue to Keap Pro, Keap Max, you get this pipeline, which is why I flipped over from Infusion Keap Classic, Keap Max Classic. Still tongue-tied on those words.
It's new. Those names just came out like a couple weeks ago, and even I have to pause for a second and say, what is the name of it now? I'm sure in like a month it'll be like second language to us, though.
Yes, it will. So this pipeline for me was a lot easier and a lot more simplified, and this can help you again develop a smooth sales process, even if you're only using it for yourself. So my automation tool is not only the sales and marketing automation, it's my administration business support. So it's my organizer. It helps me keep going with what I'm doing. So you can plug that in. So what I'm going to do now is I've got permission from one of my beautiful clients, Sandy, who's been with me for 5 years. We both got Infusionsoft Keap at the same time. So we've grown together in many ways. She was my client initially with me building her a website and then adding in the automation. So I call it an automated marketing website. And I then became her client. So using her recipes and nutrition advice to improve my health, because I'd gained a significant amount of weight with all the life circumstances I'd gone through. So anyway, so what I'm doing is using her as the example, working example. I love live, real problems. If there's a problem there, then the solution exists. So don't be afraid to ask any questions, and, you know, we'll do our best to answer them. So what I've got here is, you know, this is the picture that lives on her website, and obviously she can post her link to her opt-in form, and then this is what the form looks like in the back end. So this is where she's collecting the leads. We all know that part, right? Then you get your simple campaign where, and these are from 2015, these thumbs up. Obviously they don't look like that anymore. And I had a giggle when I went into it, because it was like, wow, this really is old. It was set up a long time ago.
Yeah, now that icon looks like a little mouse, mouse icon, I guess, the mouse pointer. There we go. I meant to say that. These are the old style, though.
Yeah, so I just left it there for history's sake. I actually had to update her emails. They were all the old non-responsive emails, and I had to go through and rebuild those for her, so she got a good bonus. So anyway, so yeah, when obviously when you have your web form, then you're delivering the product or the PDF download in this case, then this one here, we've got it so that they click the link. If they take action, they get your bonus downloads. Then if they've clicked those, they go into the follow-up, which is where she's offering the consultation or the follow-up calls to jump on a call with her and some other things like that. And that varies for you and your business, whatever it is for you. Because she's only just flipped over to Keap Max, we're still integrating and updating her systems to use the native calendar. Again, another, you know, how many, I need more than 2 thumbs to go up for using Google Calendar, syncing it, because I use what's now called Workplace, I think. Workspace, Workplace. It was G Suite. Anyway, Google keeps changing their names too. So, and inside that sequence, this is the deliverability, you know, how it actually gets delivered. So a tag gets applied, then it sends an email, waits 2 days. So this is your, obviously these ones here are the reminders that don't get sent if they click the link. So that's the beautiful thing about this, is you're personalizing the journey for the end user, but they're the ones that are actually driving it. Not that they know it, but they're the ones that are driving that end user experience for themselves. If they don't click and take action, they're going to get nagged.
One
And
question that came through from Stevie says, what does that mean, publish? You see how on each icon there's that little word there? Tell us more about what that means.
Okay, so what that means is it's ready to go. So when you're creating something, let me just jump into here, you'll see that this one's grayed out. And what that means is I've just dragged out an icon from here, and you name this right away. Whoops. Naming convention matters when you're doing things, because if you want to copy a sequence from one to another, you need to know what it's called. So basically you turn that from draft to ready, and you can see this one's now gone green and stripy. It's the candy cane. So it says it's ready, but it doesn't have the published. So to make that live, I now need to quickly click up here. Thank goodness technology is working for us. And I need to click publish. And then that's now going to go live, and it's now solid green. So does that answer your question?
I think so. But yeah, Steve, let us know in the chat if there's more clarity that you need there. But
yeah,
that sounds good to me.
It alerts you to this is development stage. Then the stripey is, hey, I've made changes here, and then you publish it. So you can come in here and edit and change things, and it doesn't go live until you actually click that publish button twice. You know, you've got to go publish and then publish again, and it's a good fail safe so that you can't stuff things up. So yeah, hopefully that helps. So yeah, so this is where you can have in a deliver the PDF and nagging them without you actually having to do anything. This was the next sequence. What was inside it was, you know, another email. And yes, this is about health and your gut. So yes, she gives away a urine and bowel charts and a weekly intake sheet, because you're amazed. It's amazing what your body tells you about what comes out, what goes in, comes out. And yeah, it's all reflective. So, and after that, if people don't take any action in her sequence with Sandy, I'll call her Sandy because that's her name. With Sandy, she sends out a regular, consistent newsletter. And obviously this isn't something that happens straight away for her. However, over time, we developed a simple process for her, and she now is confident and very happy that she gets so excited every time she does it. She sends me a message going, I did my newsletter, yay. And for some people, it's a very simple thing. However, for Sandy, who says, oh, I'm not techie, I just want to be able to do what I'm good at, which is be of service to help people with their health. She doesn't like, doesn't want to do the technology. So empowering Keap empowers you to be able to manage the tech without it being too technical. Yes, you can go deep. I always work at the foundation level. What can the tool do for me natively first before I go getting any other tools? And I was like that with websites as well. The least amount of plugins, the better, because that's when things can break. You've got more places to go log into, different systems, and it just gets too hard. So in her her newsletter, which yes, can be a long-term nurture, ongoing education, or even her customers or her prospects and leads, in those things, she's offering additional things to buy and things like that. So recently she's got these recipe packs together, and this is where I got to get excited. I'll show you in the next few slides. My light bulb started going on. It was like, oh, I'm doing this webinar. Can I do this on you? Can I use you as the example? Can I fill this out for you? And she was like, sure, because it didn't cost her anything, right? So she's very happy. And I'm thankful because I get to be able to do what I do and geek out. So she's got the new offer. So this is the sales component. How did they get here? Well, it started with the freebie opt-in of the 7 recipes. So it's still relevant. This is still recipes, and it's still that consistent, smooth slide. So, how do you sell your service? Provide the smooth slide, use lifecycle marketing, offering them a similar thing to slowly upsell. This is only a very low entry price point. So, and we've used this price point because that's what's trending at the moment, the $27 offers. type thing. So we're tapping into the market and what is familiar out there with people. So yeah, and what I absolutely loved is, this is with Keap Max, the checkout forms. With Keap Pro, I do have a little workaround that if you do, it's probably a good question actually, if people can pop in what systems they've got so I can speak to that. So if you can just pop that into the chat, what version you actually use of Keap, so that I can make sure that I'm answering you.
We got a couple in here. Anna says she's in Grow, or now called Light. Rita's in Pro.
Yep. So with Grow, you don't have the campaign builder. So some of this is not there for you yet, but you do have the easy automations. So you can use those, which is fantastic. And managing your clients is another great tool for it. You can actually still take money, but you don't have a checkout form. But when you're speaking to people on the phone, you can take their credit card and actually set up recurring billing, or just take their money right there and then. And that integrates with PayPal, Stripe, and a few others. They're the ones relevant to me in Australia. So yeah, so the checkout forms were a new addition that really excited me, because it meant I didn't need to use a third-party tool for how I was collecting my subscriptions and things as well. And checkout forms, the one on the left here, is exactly what the checkout form looks like when you create it. And I can jump in the app and show you where you create that product, if that's helpful for you as well. But what I then did is I took the checkout form and embedded it into a Keap landing page, which is mobile responsive. I love the Keap landing pages.
Nice.
I'm whether it's because I'm got a web development background or whatever, but hey, look at how awesome that looks. And all of my clients use the landing pages. So any taking the tool and making the most of what you've got and accepting it for what you perceive as limitations. It's your choice whether you get grumpy with it or you just get on with it and get the most out of that tool. So that's what we've done here and the beautiful thing about using the Keap landing pages is you can add in the other sales copy, you can add some social proof in, and effectively you've got a really nice sales page, landing page, checkout form, all in the one place in the same system, which then uses the automation. So that's what I love about that. Is there any questions around this point, or will I just keep going?
No, not yet. I did too. For those of you that are, some of you said you're in Pro or Light. Some of you said you're in Max Classic. I did 2 webinars last month. Or was it earlier this month? Man, time goes so slow and so fast sometimes. I can't keep track of it all. But I did one for those of you that are in Pro or Light about what Max is, because it just came out last month. And I've got one for those of you that are Max Classic. They're kind of like looking at that pipeline or this order form and saying, actually, I think that's kind of cool. You can check out that one where I talk about the differences, and you can decide, hey, actually, I think I'm overstepping with my Classic. I can probably get the Max, and I'll be good.
All right. There is a question there of how can I tell which Keap I have? I'll let you answer that one, Grady.
Yeah, if you just click up, if you've got the menu on the left, that's probably one of our newer products, the Light, Pro, or Max. And if you click on your initials up there in the top right and go to settings and then go to billing, it will let you know which edition you're on. Or is it, maybe it's business profile. Oh, my account, that's what it is, my account. It used to be called billing.
Yeah, my account. They're changing the name on us, keeping us on our toes.
Yeah, I know, right? Keep on the stuff.
So back to where we were. Automate your post-sales follow-up to create raving fans. And sadly, even some of the expert marketers don't do this well. So, and they should know better because they are experts. They've been doing it for a long time. And I know this because I funnel hack a lot of people and I opt in their funnels. And I'm working with a really good copywriter at the moment who is also doing the same thing. We're doing our due diligence going, where do people fall down? And it's the follow-up. Amazingly, it's still the follow-up. And perhaps it's because I've been using the system and I'm in the ecosystem. For me, it's common knowledge. And
in fact, speaking of common knowledge, You just used a buzzword that's super powerful that I don't think everyone is as familiar with. You said funnel hack. Tell me more about what funnel hacking is.
So funnel hacking is a term, I used to call it reverse engineering. So reverse engineering, funnel hacking is opting into someone's funnel. So if you're going out in business, find someone else who's doing it exactly how you want to be doing it eventually. Don't compare yourself to them, because that's comparing apples to oranges. But go in and opt into their funnel and see what the experience is like. If it's a low-cost product, just buy it to see, and take your screenshots and create yourself some swipe files so that you've got a point of reference of, hey, I liked what they did here, I liked what they did there, and then you can tweak and change that to customize your own customer journey experience using the lifecycle marketing.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the hacking part, is looking at what the experts are doing and reverse engineering it, going, well, hey, I'm going to do this too. And then obviously it's going to be you, because there is only you. So what are your options with a free lead magnet and additional post-sale follow-ups and things like that? So in the automation, if I just bring this one down here, so this is your typical Keap setup of, we've purchased a product. Remember that beautiful landing page we had? So you bring out a goal. I don't want to assume, because that's a dangerous thing to do. Won't use my analogy of what that means, but break the word down, it spells it out, what you're doing. Makes a donkey out of you and me. So yeah, bringing out the purchase goal, and then you're able to select the product from here of which one is actually going to be triggered to fire off, to then come through and deliver the post-sale thing. So when someone makes a purchase, immediately you want to be able to send them to, if it's a downloadable, if it's online, to that product or service, or triggering the you posting out something. It depends on what your business is. I predominantly work with consultants and service-based businesses and who deliver online services. So a lot of my stuff is all relevant to online. So in the post-purchase follow-up, deliver the recipe book. And then in this sequence here is a big stack of emails of going through and walking them through, because there's 50 odd something recipes in these books, so people can get lost and not use them. So it was, how do we actually get people using the product they've purchased? Because a lot of the times we'll go in, we'll opt in and get something, and then it just disappears in our email feed. And how do you find that again? What was it called? If you haven't filed it away somewhere appropriately, if you're not that organized, it just gets lost. So sometimes I'm very appreciative of repeating reminder emails saying, hey, come and get your thing here, or here's an email about on page 5, did you see this one? And it's like, oh, and that's enough to keep you top of mind and bring them back into being active and engaging in your content, which is what we want to do.
Yeah, well, and I love that too. And like when you have, sometimes there's like the just initial value, like here's a quick thing to do. But I think the idea of having like a longer value piece and then checking in to make sure that they know how to utilize it, because a lot of times you think, okay, we got the lead, mission accomplished. But it's not just about getting that lead. You should have a valuable lead magnet that someone continues to consume, and you start getting more and more established as the expert of solving the problem that caused them to get the lead magnet in the first place.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So what I'm going to move into now is the other piece that got me really, really excited. And as you heard me say, I don't use third-party tools a lot. I love using the system I've got, and we maximize it as much as we can. However, have you ever thought about being able to add in a member portal, or have a little online course, or take your freebie so it goes beyond this sort of a system here? There's a bit of a giveaway here. My screenshots only show you this much. So has anyone ever thought about that, but then thought, oh, it's another tool, it's another expense, it's too techy, it's too complicated? you know, all those sorts of things.
Juliana says yes.
Yeah, and I can relate because I've been in this field doing this for a long time, and I've wanted this for myself. And it was only, and I have to give a shout out to Jason Buckner, who's another partner. He's the one who just name dropped this, and I went, oh. So I followed his link and I jumped into the product that I'm going to be showing you that integrates so simplistically, so easily. It just blew my mind, and it really enhances just the campaign builder. Plus this little tool really adds additional wow factor. End user experience makes me feel happy, therefore the customer's end user is going to feel happy. And there's other bonuses and things in that, because yes, it's a little membership portal. You can have what's called binge buying. So they might be going there for your freebie. They'll see these other things. Oh, that's only 27 bucks. I'll buy that one. They're buying that product. Oh, there's another thing for $100. I'll buy that one. Then there's this, you know, get a free consult. Yes, I'll jump on a free consult. And all that time they're still interacting within your Keap, and the automation is happening within Keap. However, you've got additional benefits of your member portal. So better yet, what if you could do this and it was free for the first 100 users? That was just, that really excited me. It was like, yes, I actually don't have to be spending money to test this out, to play with this, all that sort of stuff. You know, like Keap offers a free trial for you to get started and have a play. You know, this one here it's a free forever 100. At this point in time, that's where it is. And, you know, they're saying it's going to be around for, you know, at least the next 12 months, definitely. So, you know, and due to the time constraints on this training and your personal needs, I've got a gift for you, and it's part of the Automation Hours bonus gift. So, yes, this is a Keap landing page with a custom domain. I use the systems that I play with. Grab a discovery call with me and I can gift you the starter campaign, so you don't, you know, you can have a base framework in place for you. Then you just need to customize it, personalize it to yourself. Plus I can help you get set up. Now, Grady, you had a referral link for me to the tool that I use. Posted in there. So if you, obviously it's a free account, there is no anything in there, but it just helps me track and see and all those sorts of things. But yeah, if you are interested in having some time with me, I'm gifting that to you. There is no cost, no strings or anything in that. It's just purely, I love this and I'm here to be able to be of service so that we can all keep growing, keep serving, keep going. As the entrepreneur.
Well, I like that too, like being able to go up to 100 members too, because sometimes I always get stuck in this idea of like value and expense, where like if you have a high ticket item and you only have one like 58 customers at a time you're working with, super good value. But even if you have, you know, a lower ticket item, you know, once you get to 100 people that are utilizing a membership platform, you can say, you know what, this is adding significant value to my customers, or it's not, and I'm okay. I can cut it, or I can reinvest. And I can say, okay, I need this for everyone now because it's paying dividends on the back end.
Yeah, and the plans, it's very affordable as well. And yes, it's a US-based product, so it's even cheaper for you guys than me. Okay, so just jumping back to, if you remember the 7 proven recipes, here's your recipe book, get your download, have you downloaded it, sending the emails. So this is just, I only did this last night because I thought this webinar was next week.
Oh no.
Because it was at 4 a.m. in my calendar, it was out of view. Anyway, so that just shows you how quick and easy this was. I've only done the very bare minimum basics in here, but enough so that you can get a concept of what it looks like in the back end. So this is a customer facing view. So you can put in a little bit of information and you can build out some lessons and modules in here. And basically this means that now we can break down this free download and expand out. We can add in videos, we can add in more copy content, more resources and things like that for them, so that, you know, as I've got written here, you're wowing them with a happy ending. So it's quick and it's simple and it integrates seamlessly. And pretty much when you first log into it, the email that you get with their onboarding process is just delightful. Sadly, they don't use Infusionsoft or Keap, but that's okay. You know, and there's, this is what I can do on the call is walk you through, right, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, because I don't want to go into that today because we're running out of time. So, but it is very easy. And one of my analogies I've got is I'm the keeper of the lighthouse. You're the captain of your ship. I'm not the deckhand. I'm just here to shine the light and guide you and walk you through. Sometimes that's a fast track. It's important you have an understanding, but some of the setup is done once and then you forget about it. You don't need to do it again. So, you know, in the settings button, it's got your connection. So log into your Keap application and log into Stripe and do the hookup of the buttons and it's done. And then you go create a product and away you go. Then you add modules, then you add a lesson, and then you add your content. And that's pretty much it. So how does it look like in Keap? So this is her 7 recipes thing. I've put in a space here at the moment to add them to a new sequence using the new little, it's not really a goal, but it's inside a sequence. Process, there you go, thank you. So it'll then add them into this here. So in this sequence here, that little square icon will add them and trigger them into this one here. I could add it into here, but I'm just demonstrating it as an example. And obviously this would be connected up as well. I don't want to get too, I love to geek out, but I don't want to go too deep. So inside here is a little HTTP post. You might go, what is that? I was fearful of these for 4 years. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to use it. Ooh, and I'd freak out. And yeah, the tool provides you with a code that you copy and paste. You delete out any of the other fields that are in there, and then it's good to go. And I think I might have put it in here.
Yeah, I got vulnerable. We actually talked about this a little bit on Tuesday, and I was like, yeah, like they intimidate me. And then you start using it, you're like, oh, yeah, this is easy. But it's like, what, a big long code like that? Like, I don't know what to do with that. But the tools that use HTTP posts walk you through the entire thing and tell you exactly what to do step by step, which is reassuring.
Yeah. And they provide you with these URLs, and you can see it's got the name, the email, and then the course ID at the end there. And at the beginning, it had add user. And it's just a matter of, this has got the add user here. So add user means it adds them to the member portal. So they've opted in for your freebie, they're on your database, then your HTTP post fires, and then they're added to the member portal. So without you having to do anything, the automation has taken care of that for you. You're delivering wow factor and value to them without actually having to do anything. And then of course you get to send them an email all excited saying, hey, guess what? This is a bonus for you. And here's the details of, you know, your username is your email, is your username and password. And I say to people, don't change it, just leave it the same thing, because that means any future emails I send you, I can actually give you a click link which logs you in directly to a lesson or a specific module. So again, that's another way of being able to add in some real good personalization and things like that in it.
Yeah, so, I just think about that idea of like, because you can automate turning on content, you can even have it be like after some time, hey, you just unlocked this new training because you've done these things, and automation can unlock it until they get to the point where they're kind of like they're consuming enough where you can say, hey, I think you'd benefit from this, paid product.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is, because we get to use the power of the campaign builder with the automations, is you can have it so that, yes, they've logged in here, and in 2 months time you can send them a reminder saying, hey, how are you going with that recipe? Find it here and link them back to it. And they might thank you. They'll be like, oh, I've been wondering where that was. And then they go in and they see all of these resources that you've given them of all, it all broken down and the details and things like that. And then, oh, look, I can buy that other thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah. My downloads folder is full of free PDFs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's getting people to consume them. and people are overloaded with information and things. So you've got to close that loop. And that's what this did for me with Keap coming out, Keap Pro. It filled a gap I had. And then with MemberVault, it filled a gap I had. So it's wonderful. The other thing I love about the member platform is it's got what's called action. So an action in MemberVault can be a goal in Keap, which then, as Grady said just before, can then move them through your process down your customer journey experience to get to that next step. So, you know, if this was, like I showed you before, this would be connected up to here. So if they've gone in and consumed the content and they complete the module, or they answer all the questions, then once they submit their answer, the action gets fired, the tag gets applied, boom, they're moved through your process. Similar to how the automation works in Keap anyway, with delivering of your emails and your PDFs. So it's a similar logic. It's just a matter of looking at and understanding it and not being scared. So what does it look like with getting paid? So you saw this sequence before about the recipe pack. So, you know, you saw the checkout form on the landing page. And if you need to use a third-party tool where if you've got Keap Pro, you might need to apply a tag and get payment and then apply a tag to them to trigger. You can also use what used to be called smart forms. They've changed the name on them for me now, but I like the smart form.
Internal forms.
It was smart. So yes, so you can have an internal form as well. So you can just tick a box and they get used to manage adding users, removing users, triggers the automation, which takes care of it. So it's just a matter of setting up those initial goals. So, you know, you're going to make a purchase, and pass-through is just because I like to do that with the decision diamond, because if I need to change here, I don't have to break my decision diamond. Coming into the delivering of the book, and in this particular setup here, the reason why we've got this here is because we've got the nagging emails to download. But at the end, if they don't download, instead of them getting stuck in this sequence, it's going to feed them through to the follow-up nurture anyway. And then, like I said before, in here, it's got like 12 or 16 emails of talking about different recipes and, you know, book a call, do you want to have a chat, other options and offers for them. So upselling and things like that. And again, this is where you can trigger the automation to get them into the member portal to be consuming more. It might not be relevant for all your products, but you know, it's flexible and you can make it work. I use it personally I still do some one-to-one client work. So I create a private little member portal for them, and when we have our training calls, they get added into there. So they've got a calls module. Then when we've got the campaigns, I create a lesson per campaign, and then there's screenshots, there's recordings, there's all sorts of stuff. So they've got one place that they get to go to get everything that they need to know about Keap. I've also got a Facebook group where they manage it, but Facebook is changing on me, and Units is not Units anymore. It's got another name. But it was, you know, it was a challenge for them to find it in Facebook, and they got lost. Plus, this adds that little bit more professional. So you're using Keap, you're looking like a pro with your email marketing. Why not tack on this other little tool that you can use?
Yeah, Anya asked a great question. She said, what's the difference between having leads go through like a normal drip campaign and then having them instead go through a member portal?
So your drip campaign, that's a good question, thank you. So your drip campaign is going into your inbox, and lots of other emails are coming into the inbox. While email is still valuable and it brings them in, by you sending them an email talking about download your lead magnet here, oh, by the way, go log into the member portal here and get all of your access to everything. You're providing a way to further them along your sales process. You're delivering additional value and wow factor to it. So the lead magnet example in here, you know, yes, this is an email and it's been sent. That's sort of where it stops. Whereas adding it into her the member area, we've been able to build out each of those, expand out a little bit more than what you can do in an email is probably the quickest answer. Yeah, so it's just adding in additional value without it costing you a lot of money initially. Yeah, I hope that answers that. Does that make sense, Grady?
I think so. Nothing's come back yet, but if she has to follow up, I'll make sure I share it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's the sort of run through of my slides. So, make sure you keep going, keep growing, and keep serving, and most importantly, delivering those happy endings. So, Keap is the most amazing automation assistance once you learn it and understand it. And coming to these automation hours is fantastic. And as I put up before, if you're interested in reaching out to me, you don't have to go and opt in if you don't want to. You can connect on Facebook and reach out to me personally there. Yes, I am a busy person as well. I'm an entrepreneur. Hey, we're all busy. However, I'm here to serve. And if I can be of any assistance and guide you, direct you, if you've currently got lots of scattered tools and you're going, how can I actually just do this in Keap? I can help you answer that. I actually do that for a lot of people. They come to me and they go, well, I've got this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, well, get this tool and then you can get rid of that and get rid of that and get rid of that. And they're saving themselves, $400. So one lady's going to be saving herself about $1,200 a month.
Man, I know I get that all the time. Like I always love checking out new tools. I got an ad last night on Facebook for an integration tool that's similar to Zapier. And I was like checking it out. I'm like, this isn't as good. Why am I spending any more time on this? I'm like, get rid of it.
Yeah, and lots of shiny objects.
Yeah, Steve said he just tried the opt-in and he got an error message.
That's not good. I don't know why.
Luckily, I also added Lyndy's email address to the chat as well, guys. So if you want to connect with her there, you can just get at least in contact that way, or getting that fixed. But this is a great time, guys, to ask some other questions. We got about 5 minutes left. So I definitely want to make sure that there's extra space if you need it to ask any other questions, either about today's content or, sometimes even general things. We love when people just ask random questions too. And we're happy to spend some time on that. But we appreciate you guys just sharing in and coming and joining us today.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it working for you, Lyndy?
Yeah, no, it says it's not accepting submissions at this time. So that's weird because it's a landing page. So I'll have to review that and see why that's doing that. So yeah, just at the moment, use my email me and say, yes, hook me up and I'll reconnect with you. I mean, yeah, that's a bit embarrassing. I probably should have checked that. I don't know why that's happening. So yeah, I'll have to get onto my Keap expert to fix that for me.
Yeah, luckily, like I said, we've got Lyndy, your email is in there. And what I'll do once we get that resolved, I'll send the email after today's session with letting you guys know, hey, we got it up and running. Everything's great. As well as we'll get you guys a link to our replay so you guys can watch the session again. So as you start doing some of these processes on your own, you go, you know what? I forgot some of the things that Lyndy talked about. You can come back and watch that session and pause where you need to and implement where you need to. So yeah, the landing page is acting kind of funny right now, but we'll get it fixed and we'll get you guys an update. Some people are saying just republish it and it should fix it too.
Yes, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Lyndy, we got a few seconds left. I'd love to know I always say like sometimes we get stuck at like infobesity where we just like learn and get stuck without ever implementing what we learn. What is the one key takeaway that you would say, like this afternoon, go and do this thing based on what you learned today?
Gosh, are you asking me that question or other people?
You.
Me. Oh, what's one thing? Ask yourself the question of what is it that I need to do right now? And you might write a list down. And then out of that list, you'll look at that and go, oh, well, I need to get this done. It's how long does something take? Is there something really quick that you can tick off your list and get that done? That's not answering your question. You've thrown me with that one, Grady.
Well, I like the idea that you shared here of like, add some prioritization with your day. If you got a couple ideas today from today's session, hopefully you've been keeping notes, writing stuff down. If you haven't, as soon as we're done, write some things down and then start crossing off things on the list that you think aren't super essential. And then start starting things you think I can get this done today. do the today things first. The someday things, do those too, but schedule those for later. Do some today things right off that list right away, so that you can at least apply some of the things that you learned today. And we'll get you guys an update this afternoon saying, all right, link is fixed. So you guys can get that appointment with Lyndi, as well as you guys have her email address in the chat as well. So you guys connect that way as well. But thank you guys again for joining us today. Lyndi, thank you, especially for getting up so early today and joining us today. I really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys all again soon.
Thank you very much for having me. And I look forward to hearing from some of you. Thank you.
You bet. You bet. We'll see you guys soon.